and welcome to Ayutthaya, Thailand. This place is absolutely beautiful. I just got here last night and today I'm going to go have a look around the city and explore some temples. Okay, so our first stop is Wat Lokkayasutha, if I'm saying that right, or the statue of the reclining Buddha. And I gotta say, first impressions of Ayutthaya is that it seems to be not such a big tourist destination, at least not for Western tourists, which is quite refreshing actually, because like in Bangkok, when you're, when you're going to visit temples, etc., there can be so many people. Whereas here, I'll show you, there's literally just one other group. I mean, that being said, I am here on a Monday, but still, there's not many people. And even when I was walking around yesterday, it seemed like a lot of Thai local tourists, but not that many foreign tourists. Before I go over, one thing I forgot to mention is that you don't need any entrance fee for this attraction, which is pretty nice. So it's about 9:30 in the morning, and the sun is really bright. Not the best for taking video, but anyway. That's what happens when you're short on time. Alright, so I think we're done for the reclining Buddha. Onwards to the next ruins. So from my understanding, the Buddha itself is extremely old, but the surroundings, this temple, has all been built in, I think she said 2011, so pretty recent. The Buddha itself was built in, which is pretty old, pretty impressive. Thailand is actually still quite a conservative country and quite a religious country, so I always think when you're in a country as a visitor, you should abide by local customs as much as possible. And although in Bangkok and in main cities, it's obviously fine to be walking around in little dresses, etc. When you're visiting temples, it's really important to cover your knees and your shoulders. So it is extremely hot. So what a lot of people do, including myself, is wear shorts and maybe a t-shirt that covers my shoulders, and then bring along a sarong, which is great. So you just wrap it around your legs as you go into the temples, and then everyone's happy. You stay cool. And you go by local customs. Okay, now how do I get into these ruins? I'm a little bit lost. So we're now walking through the ruins of Wat Lokkayasutha. I'm really sorry for that pronunciation. This place is beautiful. It really feels like walking through history. And one of the greatest things about it is that there's just no one here. I mean, as you can see, I feel like I'm here by myself. There are a few other tourists, but not many. A few groups, but otherwise it's just me exploring all by myself. So yeah, I would have to say this is probably one of the best things about Ayutthaya so far. So that it does feel like it's a little bit off the beaten track, which I'm surprised by, because I mean, it's such a historically important site in Thailand. I thought it would be as busy as Bangkok, but apparently not. And I mean, just look at this. It's beautiful. Another point is that there was a sign here saying please do not fly drones. I suspect people have been flying drones here in the past. It seems like some places they don't mind the drones, but I think it's always important just to, keep an eye out for any signs. If it explicitly says don't fly drones, I wouldn't do it. I mean, it's better just to be respectful, right? Especially as this was once such an important temple. I think it's probably quite disrespectful to fly a drone without getting permission first. So I wouldn't be flying my drone here. I do actually have my drone in my bag, but hopefully maybe somewhere else. One other thing I need to say is if you visit Ayutthaya, do not underestimate the heat. It is really hot, like crazy hot. It's only 10 AM, so it's still morning, and I'm drenched in sweat. It's So hot. It feels much hotter than Bangkok or southern Thailand. Alright, and onwards to the next place. It's a shame, I really wish I had more time in Thailand. I think this place is really quite spectacular. And although you can do it in a day, it'd be quite nice to spend a bit more time and get to, you know, really understand the history of this place a bit more, because it was very significant. It's a very important town for Thailand. I mean, as you can see behind me, like, it seems like a lot of people who come here are Thais, especially school children, I guess, learning about their own history. Yeah, I need to pick up a book on Ayutthaya now, get a better understanding of this place. So I didn't have to pay to see the statue of the Buddha, but I did have to pay 50 baht to enter the ruins behind me. 50 baht is pretty reasonable, it's not much. So you can actually get a day pass. I think it's about 200 baht or so. But if you have time, then the pass is definitely the better option, because you don't have to pay when you enter each one. It's very easy, just, you know, flash a pass, go on in. So I've just arrived at Wat Lokkayasutha, and this one is by far the most popular place I've been. It's the only place where I've actually seen as a tourist. I don't know if you can see behind me, there's literally queues of people coming in. But still, I mean, compared to other places in Thailand and Bangkok, it's really quite quiet. It's just compared to the other places, there's just significantly more people. And I suspect it's because of the famous image of the Buddha head that is wrapped in the trunk of a tree. Anyway, that's here. So I guess everyone's here to take a picture of that, including myself, actually. Still, it's very beautiful here. So Wat Mahatat was the royal temple which housed relics of the Buddha, which I guess is why it's also so famous. Anyway, let's go explore. I can absolutely see why this seems to be the spot. It is extremely photogenic, really beautiful. The Buddha's head wrapped in the vines, it is really quite pretty, especially on the photographs. I'll show you some photos I took later. I mean, just look at this. I mean, everywhere you look, it's just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, so I'm at what I think is going to have to be my final watch for today, just because it's so hot. Like, these temples are so beautiful, but it reaches a point where it just gets too hot that you can't really appreciate them anymore, which is a shame because, I mean, they're so impressive. Like, just take a look at this.